Good morning. I am literally on my first cup of coffee, so hashtag I'm going to rely on you to help me get rolling this morning, because this is what Coffee Talk truly is us having coffee together, having just woken up. So yeah, that's what's happening. Good morning.
Right, it's like old times.
Yeah, we're at the house. I'm really tired. I'm really sleepy. We just wrapped season 14 of TSK last week, and that was it's been a week, but it feels like it was just yesterday. New episodes are coming. We don't know what the first air date is yet of the new season, but we're working on that. A lot of really fun episodes. Really fun episodes. There's always food. There's always a wig involved somewhere. So it's going to be a good season. And we're here this morning because it is, let me get this right, National Record Day.
Record Store Day.
Record Store Day. So back in the day, the way I would go to shop for music is to go to the, in Georgia it was called Turtles Records. And I would go in and I would save my money and I would buy my favorite album. And as a little kid, it started out with collecting Elvis records. And then I moved into Linda Ronstadt and the Eagles, and I have every Linda Ronstadt record ever made. I do literally have every single Linda Ronstadt record, even when she was in the Stone Ponies. And so vinyl is back, and I am so excited about that. We've been saying this for a couple of years, because I've been seeing my daughters listening to vinyl, and I love it. So we jumped on the bandwagon with Let's Be Frank. Of course, you guys know that. And I brought this from upstairs because we were going to bring a few today to sign and give away, but we couldn't find any.
They're all gone everywhere.
So we are getting more. There will be more. You will be able to find them in stores, but they are a little scarce right now. So if you find one in a store, post it. We want to see where you're finding the vinyl. There is more coming, and we're gonna get 5. Right, Brian? We're gonna randomly select and autograph 5 vinyls to whoever's listening today, and we will watching today, and we'll get those to you. So
yeah, so if they just comment below.
Comment if you'd like an autographed vinyl.
And then I'll just go through and randomly pick 5.
Okay.
Oh, and now everybody is saying Let's Be Frank is a fave.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. I keep talking about this record, but I had so much fun making this record, and there are going to be some live performances associated with Let's Be Frank, which we can't announce yet, but we are going to be doing some, so we'll let you know about that.
Wow, Trisha, you're back for Coffee Talk and giving people so much exciting news.
What else? Oh, well, so last weekend we were at High Point, North Carolina for a market for the debut of a new furniture line that I have called Nashville. And one of the things that I wanted to do in this line, because of all of this vinyl, was have a record player cabinet, like the old school cabinets. I think we showed it in the Coffee Talk video that we did, but I'm going to show you a picture of it now. I don't know if you can zoom in on this, Brian. This is the cabinet. That one's in white. It comes in brown. It also comes in a really light, called Trisha Blue. It's a very pale blue, and it was so much fun to walk in and see this Let's Be Frank playing on this record player. The top is, one side is solid and the other side is glass. So if you're playing the record, you can put the glass down, you can see the record spinning on the turntable. And it has a built-in speaker. It also has jacks in the back, so if you want to hook it to a bigger set of speakers or to a Bluetooth speaker, you can do that and get bigger sound. But that was pretty exciting, and that was one of those things that I was excited to see come from having a meeting a year ago and saying, can we have a record cabinet? And voila, here it is. It's pretty cool. And
it is perfect timing because I see so many people writing in all over the place, I need to go get a new record player. I need to get one.
Yeah,
so it's
and there are all sorts. There's bigger versions like this. There's small compact ones. When I was a kid, I got one from Santa Claus that was like a suitcase, and you just opened it up and that was all. It really just held a record, and that was really it. So they're pretty cool.
Tricia, so people are saying, can you please put, I think it was Monica, she said, can you please put Let's Be Frank t-shirts up on your website? Actually, I'm sorry, not to put you on the spot. I don't know.
Yes, we can. I have not, and I apologize because I have not looked lately to see, we have a lot of merch that we've been working on that's out, we have them at the tailgates and we have them, but I'm not sure what's on the website, so yes, I will get on that. So that's on me. I will get on that and make sure, because we have a really cool t-shirt that has this picture on it, and it's it's a baseball tee, so it has the 3/4 sleeves, and it's black, and it's really cool. So we'll make sure we do that. We also have coasters that I love. They're marble coasters, a set of 4, and they're all different photographs from this package. So that's a really cool thing too. What else?
What's your favorite vinyl cover of all time?
Oh wow, that's tough. That's tough. Well, there's a Linda Ronstadt record, and it is. I'm trying to think of the name of the record. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of the album. But it's not a double album, but it's the one that you fold out, and there's a picture. There's a big picture, like a big centerfold, and then there's the album in there. It's got. Oh gosh, what's the name? I'm trying to think of the. It's got You're No Good on it. Does it have You're No Good on it? Anyway, she's sitting and looking in the mirror, and it's a shot from behind of her in the mirror, and her hair's kind of up, and that kind of Gibson girl thing she always did, and it's kind of pinkish and reddish. And then when you open it up, it's a picture of her and the band backstage, and it's so typical backstage of the guys all kind of hanging, and she's sitting on a road case, and it has her name on the road case. And I remember as a young girl, as a teenager, thinking, I'm gonna be sitting on a Trisha Yearwood road case one day. Like, I'm gonna be doing that. And yeah, and so then now I have a road case with my name on it, so I guess I've arrived.
And we're getting a lot of comments about your hair, which is funny because I talked about your hair when you came down this morning, but everybody's like loving your hair.
This is what's so funny. So yesterday I spoke at something here called Leadership Music. It's a really cool program in Nashville where people who work in the industry basically take a class, and I think it's 8 or 9 months, and once a month they have these meetings where they learn about different things in the industry, and it's kind of like a refresher course for people who work in the music business to learn about other things. And so yesterday was Media Day. Brian went with me. It was about how media has shaped your career, and I got up and had to get myself ready, so I had to do my own hair and makeup, and I don't have a lot of hair game, so I just straightened it. And when I thought a while ago when I woke up, I'm like, it won't, I sleep hard, it'll be like, and it was still kind of straight, so yeah, that's what you get.
And Adam wrote in and he said he thinks that the album cover that you're talking about is Simple Dreams.
It is Simple Dreams, Adam. Yes, for the win. Oh gosh, I love that song so much. I would come home in the afternoons and I would, I had the Linda Ronstadt songbook from that album, and I would sit at my piano and I would play those songs, and I would just totally dream that I could be doing that someday. So, yeah. Oh. And you're gonna make me go play the piano today. I'm gonna have to go play that song.
And we're also getting a lot of Your Record Player Is Everything.
Oh, thank you. It is. I'm excited about it. I am very excited about it. You debut this stuff at Market. It's not available in stores for a little bit, but stores can. This is where stores go furniture stores go to order what they see it in the showroom and go, oh, I want to sell that in my store. So I can't wait to get this in my house because I definitely looking for the perfect spot for it. I'm like, I know, honey, we're furnished, but we have to have one more piece of furniture. I have to put this in the house somewhere.
So Heather said that she can't wait to tailgate with you. And I know we put a bunch of the tailgates on sale. And so everyone in here is commenting that they're excited to meet you in different cities.
I want to say about tailgate, I feel like we're talking about this all the time, but it's kind of like when you start a new business and you have all the struggles of trying to get it off the ground and figuring out what works and what doesn't work. We've done really 2 of these tailgates, and we're learning, and I think they are fantastic, and I think the potential for them is huge. I think this is really a fun thing that we're going to continue to do, and we just need you to come and see it for yourself and let us know what you think. So the next one is next weekend in Gainesville, Florida, in front of the Garth Stadium show, and we're outside. If you're coming, a lot of people who are coming to the Garth show, you come and you tailgate and you're there for several hours during the afternoon anyway. So this is a way for you to tailgate where you don't have to pack the cooler, you don't have to cook the food, you don't have to worry about the tent. You come to our tent, it's really nice. It's got really good food and drinks and games, and I'll be there. I have a mascot. There's a Trisha mascot. It's pretty cool. So it's for 3 hours. I'm not there for the whole 3 hours, but I'm there for about an hour, and it's very interactive. There's a really cool selfie station, a dance floor. There's a lot of fun things to do. So please come see us. And so Gainesville, we also have Pittsburgh, we have Minneapolis, and we have Denver. That are on sale. So please come see us. Those are all cities that Garth is playing in.
And to make it easy, those are all up on the website now.
They are on the website
now. So they can just go to TrishaYearwood.com/tailgate.
We can talk about the stadium shows a little bit if we want to, because this really good-looking cowboy just walked in.
Oh, hey.
Good morning. How are you? We were just talking about it's international. Yep, I want to show this because you guys sit down. Hi.
How are you?
Have a seat. How are you this morning? This guy made my coffee this morning because he's amazing. Thank you. I'm not awake yet.
You're not?
No.
I have to be.
So we were talking about vinyl, and I wanted to try to explain to people how. Well, I was saying that we're going to sign 5. We're going to give away 5 of ours today, but we couldn't find any. We were having trouble finding them in the stores because they're just kind of scarce, and we're having more made. But I'm in line behind. I'm in line behind this guy who's got all of the vinyl pressing plants really locked up right now. So I'm having a really hard time getting my vinyl pressed because this guy is in front of me.
Yes, ma'am.
I think I have a picture of your vinyl. We'll show it today. I don't have your actual vinyl, but we have the picture of the legacy. I know you've been talking about this a lot, so.
Yeah, and it's record store day.
Yeah.
Right? So just encouraging everybody to get out to your local record store.
What was your record store growing up?
TGNY.
Yeah.
Always was, yeah.
Yeah. We would go to Turtles was the name of our store.
Turtles. We had one.
Not in my hometown. There was no record store in my hometown.
We had a place called Peaches in Oklahoma City that you'd go to.
Yeah.
And then of course, what's the big one that everybody went to here?
Great Escape.
No, the big one that was down at the corner. Tower Records.
Yeah, Tower Records.
Cool.
Yeah, it was so cool to go through and just thumb through their albums, you know.
Yeah, and you can do that today.
Yeah.
You can go to your local record store, and there's a lot of them. Thank God, a lot of them are popping up. A lot of mama pops, and then some. What's the great one here? Jack White's got his, but then what's the other? Grammys. There's another one here in Nashville.
Is Great Escape still around?
I don't know, but Ernest Tubb always has had vinyl there and always will. One of the great traditions in Nashville. That kiss was nice. Good morning.
What are you doing today?
Sorry.
Oh, hi guys.
Well, and also, so I can be the hero to the Garth and Trisha fans. I convinced Garth to leave the window open. For
you did?
the legacy.
We opened it to the public yesterday, and they've been very, very sweet and had a great response. And he's wanting to keep it open through Record Store Day, which I think is a great tradition too.
It's a great idea. Did you get our anniversary, by the way? Did you hold our anniversary?
I did hold our anniversary. Yes, 2 or 3 of them actually.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, we have
first date.
That's very really.
Yep.
Oh, you're so romantic.
Wait, so Garth, they asked Trisha, and now they're asking you, what's your favorite vinyl cover ever?
That's tough, man. Probably because of the story, because nobody has a story like this. Sweet Baby James. James Taylor was in our house. That record, I see that record. I know we bought 3 or 4 copies of it. We kept wearing it out. And a guy named Henry Diltz, who shot all of our photography, shot you. He's one of the greatest photographers in history. And we were at the house, and one Christmas, I opened up this present from Diltz, and it was the actual picture in the frame, not cropped in like they did. So the fence post, the elbow, everything is in full in this picture. And if you're a big James Taylor fan like me, that photograph is iconic. So to actually have the photograph that he took that they used for the album cover, it's pretty cool.
That's really cool.
So Mary says, I love it because you two are bringing vinyl back.
We're bringing vinyl back.
I never would have guessed in a million years. But again, I think the reason why vinyl's coming back is because people don't want music to be background music. I think they want it to be something that means something to them. So vinyl, you have to tend it, right? You have to be real careful when you drop that needle. You have to listen to all the album cuts. Then you got to go flip it over halfway through, put it on, all the good stuff.
I think people, like, I know for me, I'm a reader. You know, I love to read, and so I read a book. I'll do a book online. I'll do a book on my Kindle. I'll do books on tape or whatever. But there's something about holding that actual physical book and flipping the pages, and I think that's what it is also about vinyl. And it does encourage you to listen to the whole record. We were talking about this the other day. How, you know, there are always when an artist makes an album, there's always songs that you think are possible radio songs, and there's always songs that you say, oh, that's the perfect album cut. And if you don't listen to an entire album anymore, which a lot of people don't, then you miss some of those songs that you might love that might end up being your favorite songs. I know for me as a fan, some of my favorite songs, talking about Ronstadt earlier, are songs that were never singles. And so I think those get missed, and I think vinyl brings that back, because when you put a vinyl record on, you're not going to go, oh, listen to this track, and you're not going to skip over. You're going to just let it play, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, man, I think the Eagles might be one of the greatest album cut bands there were. And then, of course, all the Elvis records and Beatles records, the two greatest performers ever, Elvis and Beatles, those records were all just packed with great surprises. The Beatles would put out 4 or 5 singles and then go, okay, let's make an album, and they would all be on that same album. So you can see why they're just monsters. So those albums, anytime you get to see a Beatles record or an Elvis record, trust me, buy it, put it in your collection.
Elvis had an album that I love the cover of. It's called 50,000 Fans Can't Be Wrong, and he was in a Gold Lame suit, and there were just a million. There were like 50,000 pictures of him on this album, and I used to make sure I wrote my name on my album so no one could take them. And I was like 5. I don't know who's gonna take my records, right. But that record of mine is actually in an exhibit at Graceland right now, so you can see it, and you can see my little sad Patricia Yearwood scrolling on the outside of the album. So it's pretty cool.
Somebody just said, speaking of album cuts, what are your favorite album cuts from your own albums?
Wow. Ooh. Swim to the Nearest Distant Shore on yours, just gorgeous.
Wolves
Heart Like a Sad
yours.
Song on yours. Yep.
Wolves, I love Wolves.
Bellawood for me, every now and then. Lonesome Dove, probably, too, as well.
I have a Lonesome Dove also. That's one of my favorite cuts on my first album that was not a single. Hearts and Armor. The song Hearts and Armor from Hearts and Armor. Usually the last song on my records, and he does this too. We didn't know this about each other for a long time, is that usually our kind of sentimental favorite, like, what's that song? And usually for me, it's not a single. It's usually something that's just the way that you don't want to hear another song after that. So usually the last cuts on every one of my records.
I think we've only done last cut singles on The River, which were open.
Oh, that's
The
cool.
Dance on the original Garth Brooks record.
Oh, not any big songs then.
No.
Yeah, it's. I guess it has kind of worked out pretty good.
So what you're saying is your sentimental favorite songs are also really big monster hits.
So Trisha, Sarah O'Brien has, because you remember we were saying, it's scarce to find Let's Be Frank
Yes.
on vinyl. So she found it and she bought Let's Be Frank on vinyl, and she said it sounds amazing.
Sarah, I'm going
Thank
to
you.
agree with you. She can't say it, I can. It sounds freaking phenomenal. I was there when it was going down. Sounds exactly like they recorded it live, like it just went straight from the studio to your record player. So. And that's Al. I mean, Al and Don are
Al Schmidt, Don was. I will have to tell you that, when I wake up in the morning, never ahead of you, and you've made the coffee and you're doing your thing, you'll put music on, and I think it's the first time I've ever woke up and several times and hear you playing that record.
Yeah,
it's
a
like,
great record.
that means he likes it. So.
Let's Be Frank is a great record, but I'm going to give you a little spoiler too. The next record you hear from her, which is all original country stuff, might be the best record I've ever heard in my life from you.
It's
Really?
It's
so
amazing.
good. I'm gonna start
We were
crying.
talking. We had a listening party the other day, and just going, "There's not a wasted song on here. It's amazing, and it feels like there's 100 of them, and they're all great, great songs."
Well, thank you.
So really proud.
Wow, coming from you.
Very sweet.
So that's coming. That's coming soon. Brian got to hear some of those songs too.
Oh man, I'm like tearing up just thinking about
Yeah, man, it's unbelievable.
Well, I'll tell you what. When we were on tour, that 3.5-year tour, and then between the tour and the cooking show, I kind of looked up one day and went, "Oh my gosh, it's been forever since I made a record." So I just made 2, and I made records, and I had the best time. It has just been really fun to make both of these records.
Yeah.
And they'll be on vinyl too. Okay, thank you for coming down. My coffee cup's almost empty.
I know, and
What are
I'm
we
going
gonna
to
do?
steal her from you.
Everybody have a wonderful Saturday. I'm going to have a wonderful Saturday. Love you guys.
Love you all. Love one another.
Love one another.